Welcome to the Grand Prix recaps. This is the tiebreaks of the semi-finals, where the players who tied in the semi-final stage will play against each other to decide who will play the final. So both games, Hikaru Nakamura versus Shakira Mamedaru and Wesley So versus Aminta Batabai, both games went to the tiebreaks. So we'll see who reaches the finals. So today we are going to be taking a look at this game played between Shakira Mamedaru and Hikaru Nakamura. They have repeated Nakamura 2 times, which is wrong, maybe some broadcasting error. But let's forget about that. Let's start the game. Mamedaru opened with c4. Nakamura responded with knight f6, g3. This is the English opening. Here black plays c6 to play d5, but white breaks in the center first. d4, into d4, queen into d4, and black plays knight a6, maybe to get his knight on c7 as it can't develop on c6. And then this knight supports d5, he can push d5 later. Knight c3, bishop c5, queen d1, castles. Now these are all developing moves. Here black finally plays d5, white plays knight e4, he doesn't want to trade all the pieces, he wants to keep pieces on the board. Again he doesn't trade, he plays knight g5, queen into d1, black exchanges the queens, rook a into d1, bishop c8, knight d4, and this is kind of an endgame position. And here white sacrifices knight into c6. His idea is after b into c6, which happened in the game, is bishop into c6 and you attack both the rooks. This is not a big advantage as you have already given up your knight, and then once you take the rook, then black will recapture. So you lose a knight and bishop and you'll get, I think so, 2 pawns and 1 rook. Black plays bishop f5, now he connected the rooks. e4, white doesn't immediately capture the rook, he can capture it anytime as both the rooks are on attack. Bishop to g6, and here white plays f3. Again, you don't need to capture the rook, but instead of f3, e5 would have been better. But he decided to go for f3, and here black goes for knight g4. His idea is simple, after takes, he'll take the knight and white will have double pawns and this isolated pawn. But white also sees this, he just protects his knight as it cannot move anywhere. Only one square is there to move it back. So black plays bishop to c5, king g2, knight e3. Now that's why he played bishop c1, because if you would play knight h3 here, there could have been bishop c5. So now after bishop c5, king g2, there's knight e3, and now you can take it, there's no fork. And now he takes his knight back. Here black plays knight b4, he forces him to move his bishop, so he takes the rook. Rook into e8, knight f4, knight into a2, knight e5. Now white has taken control of the center, as this knight was controlling d5, now it took the pawn. White can also play rook a1, but he takes control of the center first, attacking the bishop. Bishop goes back, now rook a1, knight b4, and now he wins the pawn back. Here black has 2 bishops and 1 rook for white's 2 rooks. But white has 2 pawns extra, so that's why the material is kind of balanced. But if white loses his pawn, then it's going to be troublesome for white. So black plays f5, he tries to create a lot of weaknesses so that the rook can come in. E into f5, black's rook comes on e2, king h1, bishop into f5, and here white does a mistake by playing rook to b7. It looks very obvious to attack the bishop and you can promote the pawn. But here black can play bishop to h3, counter-attacking the rook. So you lose your rook if you capture the bishop. And here you have to be careful of this back rank mate threat. Here black just plays bishop to c5 and white resigns, as if you take the bishop then there's rook e1 checkmate. And if you don't take it and you play b4, then there's bishop to g2 checkmate. So white cannot do anything and he is forced to resign. So yeah, Hikaru Nakamura won this game. He also won the second game in the tiebreak. So he is 2-0 lead against Mamedaru. And in the other match, Wesley So versus Aminta Batabai, again Wesley So won 2-0 against Aminta Batabai. So that means that Hikaru Nakamura and Wesley So will play in the finals of the FIDE Grand Prix Chess Tournament 2022 League 3 in Berlin. Now here it is showing the score as 3-1 as in the semi-finals, not the tiebreak. Each player had got 1 point. Hikaru Nakamura and Mamedaru's game, both their games ended in draw, so both get 1 point. And in Wesley So and Aminta Batabai's game, both won a match. So yeah, this was the recap in the tiebreaks of the semi-finals. This is Edric Vasquez. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in my next video.